Well, hello there, everybody. Greetings from Emotiva World Headquarters in beautiful downtown Franklin, Tennessee. I'm sitting here with Lonnie Vaughn.
That's me.
And my beautiful daughter, Jessica.
Hello.
And steady hands of Grayson at the brand new console to replace the console that we that failed right after our last podcast. So I said I was going to have a podcast out in 10 days. It turned into 3 weeks because we had to find a new board to get things going. And to all you out there that are wondering, we've survived the tornado fully intact, unlike some of our unfortunate neighbors out here in northeast of us. It was horrific. I don't know if you've watched the news, but tremendous loss of life and destruction of property. And our hearts go out to those people. We've got a little company effort going on to help do a little fundraising and provide assistance to people that are displaced, have lost their homes or their belongings as a result of the tornado. So we're trying to do our part here as a good neighbor. And the great thing about living in Nashville is the amount of people, the outpouring of support and help, and almost too much, to handle in one time. But it's really nice to live in a community that bands together. After the flood we had a few years back, everybody got together and helped out, and they're doing the same thing here with the tornado.
Volunteer state.
Yeah, and it is the truth. It's really heartening to see people behaving so well. So to all you out there, thanks for all the phone calls and texts and emails asking about us. We really appreciate it. And to our neighbors that were not so fortunate, we're going to do whatever we can to help you and hang in there. So count your blessings, folks. So we got a couple things to go over today. We got Lonnie and Jess here. Let's talk a little bit about the processors and what's going on there. The Audio Sciences review guys, Amir over there, did a review of the RMC1 that somebody sent in, one of our end users sent to him. And it caught us a little off guard when we saw the test, a little flat-footed, I should say, when we saw the test results, because they didn't kind of correlate to what we were experiencing here internally.
Which is a good reason for that.
Yeah.
All of our tests, if you don't mind me jumping in, all of our tests are, your usual tests. You test for your signal to noise, your distortion, all that kind of stuff, and a lot of other things. We've got this massive thing that we test for, but he tests things a little bit differently. And he actually found something that we had never seen. But it was actually a good thing because it just had never come up before. And once we dug into it, it was really interesting what we found. The actual problem was the Dolby Up mixer when you're running stereo.
Yeah, but I should go take a step back, though. When we did the original development and did all these original tests, we didn't have the issue. And then our production tests is doing everything in multi-channel mode, and it doesn't do a lot of these little detailed tests that they're doing to pull out some of these anomalies that he caught. So go on, Lonnie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So in any of the stereo modes, the up mixer is always set into a bypass mode, but obviously, based off his test, and it turned out to be true, it's still doing something in the background that's messing with it a little bit. So ultimately, once we saw it, all we did was we just wrote the code to kill it altogether and bypass it, and problem solved. And I also want to say thank you, Mir, if you're listening, thank you for retesting the unit and publishing the results. We really do appreciate that, and that it was great to speak to you last week. Yeah,
that it's good to see that the baseline performance of the RMC1 is in line with what our expectations were, and we do appreciate it. It's one of the things, we're not perfect here, but we try to run a really open, transparent company, and when things are brought to our attention, we want to resolve it for everybody's benefit. And I'll say it again: the fact that we have, basically, we have complete control of the platform. Once we identify a problem, we're able to very quickly get into it, find the solution to it, and then update the products. And so I thank my guys for working really quickly and figuring out what the issue was. Ray, in particular, he was going crazy there for a few hours, but he finally figured out what was going on. And Lonnie and Ray and the team did a great job in writing a patch to get around it. So we appreciate the input, and we're we don't take anything for granted. Once we know we really have a problem, we're going to get on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things about dealing with us versus, well, I guess anyone else.
No, Well, we're building.
We listen.
Well, we're actually in control of and building the product and designing it, so it gives us a lot of ability to understand when problems occur and to react to them quickly. So without patting ourselves in the back too much, Amir, we appreciate it. We're glad we met you finally. We didn't know him. Mm-hmm. And he's a really cool guy, very knowledgeable, and we're going to use him as a resource moving forward, just to kind of, to back check our work, because you get a little snowblind. You get so deep into it that sometimes, you don't stand back and look at it as other people might see it. So in the future, I'd like to see us use his testing and his team as part of our QA and our design audit process, because I think it's a really helpful thing to have somebody that's completely disinterested in your product look at it from outside.
Absolutely.
What was that, Jess?
That was Keith.
Oh,
on the outside.
That was Keith on the outside. Well, for those of you that know Keith, you realize he has a very clear, penetrating voice, and he goes right through the walls of the studio. So moving right along here now. So we were talking about the RMC1 and the testing and Amir and AV Audio Science Review and all that good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Dirac really quickly while we're on the subject of processors, because I want to move on with Jessica to some more urgent business also.
Sure.
So Dirac is moving well. Mm-hmm. We're building up the kits for Dirac.
Yep.
And
parts are coming in.
So we're still on schedule. I'm looking at a couple weeks. I don't know what's the date now, Lonnie.
Everybody's pushing for the end of this month.
Okay, so that's where we're at, kids, and we'll keep you posted on how that's going. But so far, so good. We got distracted for a couple of days chasing the weird stuff on the measurements, but we're back on track with everybody and full steam ahead on that. We got some important talks, things to announce about Axpona. And for those of you that, I don't know if it impacts you much, but the high-end show in Munich, it's been canceled in June due to the coronavirus. So we were going to be exhibiting in Munich in May rather, at the high end in Munich, which is like a great show. We love going out to Munich and hanging out there, and it's just a really fun show. It's kind of like a Axpona on steroids, and but it's been canceled because they're having so much trouble with containing the virus, and they want to get on top of it. So you're seeing more and more trade shows being canceled as due to the risk of travel and commingling with so many people close up. So Jess has been corresponding with the guys at Axpona. I'll let you carry it from here on Axpona.
Yes, so we've been in prepare mode for Axpona for definitely the last few weeks. We love the show. I'm actually on the board of Axpona, so it's an important show to us. We've been a supporter from the beginning. They've been keeping us posted on the latest news, whether or not the show is happening. We've expressed our concerns in the weeks past. We got an email from them yesterday saying, we are moving ahead with the show. Everyone's excited. Only 4 exhibitors have pulled out. And they're proceeding as usual. We were still very concerned, and we have decided to not attend Axpona. So that's our official position. We are not preparing anymore. We have a feeling that it will inevitably, the coronavirus will get worse. We don't want to dedicate the work to put on a show and just cancel at the last minute. We also think that there are we don't want to put our customers at risk by driving more traffic to the show by being there. And we think that would just not sit right on our conscience. So they know our feelings. We don't know if the show will get canceled, but we think... even yesterday, the news changes daily. We had someone in Nashville who attended a trade show in Boston and has the coronavirus and blocks away from our house. So it's we're not overreacting. We're not sitting here with masks and hoarding materials and stockpiling. We're very rational, but we think it's an unnecessary risk. And if you've attended a show, small confined spaces, our demographic can be
more
older,
at risk, yeah.
More at risk. Of course, is
well, look at me.
And you don't know who people are going home to. So we just
Yeah, it's to amplify what Jess is saying, it's not just us getting sick, but let's say we get exposed to it, we're carrying it, we come back and we go see one of our older relatives or friends or whatever, our younger children. We're seeing the people that get it, a lot of them have very mild symptoms, but they pass it on to their immediate family or friends that are close to them. And it's a very easily spread virus in close quarters with other people. And I believe that in the U.S., we're going to see a bloom here between now and Axpona. I mean, I'm not an expert, but it just seems to me like it's trending that way. If you look at the rest of the nations that have been hit by it, it seems to peak and then kind of settle. And I think we're coming up on the peak, and I think the timing couldn't be worse for Axpona. So I made the decision. I'm not going to risk my team and their families and my friends and fellow audiophiles out there. I don't want you coming in and unnecessarily exposing yourself. Now, what you guys decide to do on your own is up to you, but we're hoping that that Axpona will consider scheduling the show to a little bit later after the peak of this thing has subsided and the weather warms up.
Yeah, I think once it warms, it's going to die.
And we love the guys at Axpona. Like we say, we're like one of the charter members of the group, and we want to completely support them. At the same time, I have to do what I think is right for our team and our families, and I just don't see that it's worth it, the unnecessary exposure. So we won't be there. The show may go on, and God bless them all. I hope they do, but we'll be back the next time they have it. But for this particular show, we won't be there. And we're sad to say that that Munich is canceled. I think they did the right thing getting out in front of it early on and doing an orderly unwind. We'll be at the next show at Munich, and I'm hoping to go to the audio show in Warsaw, in Poland. We're hoping to make our first appearance there later this year. So we'll see how everything goes with everything that's going on in the world right now, but that's what we're going to be doing. In the meantime, we've got some new products and some stuff we wanted to show, and by not being there, we're going to do like a little virtual trade show here and show you some of the new stuff we have going, and kind of try to give you some content here to tide you over till the next time we can all get together face to face.
So that's our position. We don't know if they're going to broadcast who is or is not attending, but we are officially not attending Axpona, so you know that from us. And if you have any questions, let us know. Again, we're not being hysterical. We're just being cautious and just, the unnecessary risk. We don't want to take it.
So we won't beat it up anymore. I'm hoping that you guys all stay safe and use good judgment. I think that it's going to get a little dicey here. Not like in a bad way, but I just think it's going to get worse before it gets better. And you all take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Right?
That's the most important thing.
I'm reading all the stuff from the CDC. Wash your hands. It's all those basic things, and try to avoid big crowds is one of the CDC advice points. And trade shows just seem to be counter to that advice.
And in our industry is very global, and we have electronics
all over the place.
People from all over attending, and it's just
a little too much risk for us.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, the new Emotiva, so we'll see you soon when we see you. Looking forward to everybody be safe in the meantime. The new RS13 reference 13-inch sub is a monster and is starting to get some traction, which makes me feel really good. My biggest disappointment is not knocking everybody over in the Dream Theater.
I know.
Because we did the demos with the new 13-inch subs in there. Oh my God, it's a weapon. It's unbelievable. And so we're seeing those start to get up and sell, which makes me feel good. It's a great product.
We'll have to do that video on it.
Yeah, you just can't make on the video, though, you can't make your pant leg move. But
I know,
that
that's
thing
the
does.
problem.
But so we've got a lot of exciting stuff going on here. We're busy with coding and development, getting Dirac ready for you all. And the first time I saw Damon run Dirac, in all 16 channels was a real exciting thing for us. So
it was exciting for all of us.
Yeah, keep the faith there. And again, we hope to see you all real soon. Be safe, and we'll be following up shortly with some more news from us. We've got, thanks for getting the console going again, Grace, and we appreciate it. And from all of us at Emotiva World Headquarters, adios.
Adios.
Bye.